everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. It's Meredith and I am here doing a fun video for you. This is my design team project for Ruby and Pearl this month, and I was kind of trying to decide what I was going to do, and I have had these little books of observers books for a while and decided that I wanted to try to incorporate them into my project. And my inspiration for those were from this gorgeous book that I was so grateful to have purchased from Dagmar. And I can't remember her, I think her Instagram handle is cookie something 1949 or something like that. But anyway, she created this beautiful journal, and I was so lucky to be able to purchase it from her. And I've always just been obsessed with this painted cover. And so I thought I would try my version of this sort of style of altered book using the amazing wallpaper digitals from Ruby and Pearl. I am not a person that paints very well, so I just decided I would try this concept with some digitals and see how they turned out. So I'm pretty happy with the results. So for today, I'm going to show you, we'll do a full flip through this. The Book of Cats is completed and ready to go. And then this one, I'm going to work in a little bit and show you how I created the Hidden Spine signature to go in, and just how I put it all together. Sorry, I had a little distraction there. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do a flip through, and then we will have sort of a little mini micro tutorial of how I chose to do the altered book style. So as you can see, this is called the Observer's Book of Cats, and it's a very popular vintage brand of books. I'm pretty sure they originated in the UK, and there's many different updated versions of them, but I like the old style. I really wanted, to be kind of scruffy and worn. And both of my books, I think I acquired from Thrift Books online. And you can get them on eBay or Etsy. I personally didn't want to pay the massive shipping from the UK, so I found them here in the US. So if you're looking for something similar, they have, I don't even know how many, I think there's like 24 in the series of Observer's books. So I have this little enclosure that is attached with this bulldog clip, and I just did an eyelet on the back. And for the cover, I used the watercolor images, and I've got them listed below which number watercolor it is. In fact, let me just grab them both so you can see which ones I chose. Okay, so for the Book of Cats cover, I chose this one is wallpaper number 23, and it's the first one in the series, and I size these 2 to a page. So you can see this is the portion here that I fussy cut out. I just really liked the white and the green to coordinate, and I thought that was really pretty. So, but obviously you could choose this portion or, in any which way. And then for the horses and ponies, I used number 16, and this is the large full sheet. And so same thing, I did 2 to a page and then fussy cut out kind of the main floral portions. And you could certainly add, more foliage on top. I didn't want to cover up this part, but you totally could. That wouldn't matter at all. Okay, so, oops, sorry for the shake. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So I had a little bit of this ticking. I actually used that on the inside for the hidden spine, and just decided I wanted to add a little piece of it on the front. And then this is a little snippet from some lace that I got in a bundle from Lovely Lottie's. So you can either just take the bulldog clip off, or you can untie and take it off as well, and then just open up, and then this part stays attached, although it's just looped, and you could easily take it out if you want to use the ribbon somewhere else. The wallpaper I used on the inside, everything will be listed below, so it's really hard for me to remember each and every one. There's so many gorgeous wallpaper images. So in the front, I just tucked in this beautiful girl, and then backed it with some wallpaper. This is a piece of vintage wallpaper that I've had in my stash forever. So those just get tucked in here, and as you can see, this is the part of the hidden spine. So that is the ticking that I used. I think this is a little snippet from my friend Gail at Shabby Cottage Studio. So this is just a one signature journal. It is very chunky. I probably shouldn't have put quite so many pages in this one because I did kind of stuff it with ephemera, but if you take the ephemera out, it'll be a little more tidy. This particular spine is a little bit smaller, as you can see, than the horses and ponies. So anyway, both of the pages are similar on the inside. I just rearranged them in a little different order. And so I could use all the pretty pieces. And, you know, since they're printed 2 to a page, this is one of my favorites. This is in the wallpaper kit number 3, I think. And I used a few of the images from the dressmaker kit. This is, can't remember what that is. This is, I believe, from the Botanist. And then there's a lot of vintage Italian and French book pages included. Here I have just a little journal card that I popped on, and I just decided to match it with the paper. So that goes on there. This is some from the Botanist. This is, I believe, from the Yellow Rose kit. It's just a little journal card. And then here I have my little fun eyelet on the corner. I love doing that. And I just popped this girl in. This is paper from La Flora. Super beautiful. This is some Italian book page. And then, no, excuse me, it's French. And then I double printed on the book page with one of my favorite wallpapers from Heather. It's this, I'll show you just because you can see it better. Hang on. So this is the full sheet. So there's that part, and then open. It's so gorgeous. It printed out really nicely. This is some botanical images from the Graphics Fairy, as is this, from their 1700s book pages. And then this comes from a big booklet that I got on Amazon. I think it's also called La Flora, but it's got a bunch of fun botanicals in it. And then this is a piece of vintage wallpaper, and I just made a little tab from some of my glitter watercoloring. This is a little snippet from my friend Marlene that I created into a tab. I think this is from the Rosie or Paris kit, I can't remember. And this gorgeous image will be listed below. Sorry, if there's a timestamp you want to know exactly which one it is, just let me know. And then here's that awesome embossing folder that we love, and I just left it plain. And here's some more beautiful wallpapers. So I just really tried to combine a lot of Heather's different wallpapers into this journal. It's kind of like an artist journal, so you can really create whatever you want with it. You could use it as a diary. You could use it for, you know, documenting one specific event. Just whatever sounds good. And I just love the size and how cute it all came together. Another beautiful wallpaper. This is from the Message of Love kit. Some Edith Holden sprinkled in throughout. This is more from the, I think it's called The Botanist. And then this is just so gorgeous. I absolutely love this. This is also, I think, in some of the later wallpapers that have released last year. Just love it so much. And so then here we are on the back sides of all the pages. This beautiful girl, just a nice blank journaling card and a little scrap of poetry that I tucked in there. And the backs of some of those wallpapers. This is more French book page, little swan, more swatches. And then here's just a nice page I just kind of collaged on there. This little Amity Bloom washi tape. Back of this gorgeous wallpaper. So pretty. And this is like a little bookmark. Love this blue ribbon wallpaper. Is so gorgeous. This is some vintage poetry. Another little sparkly swatch. And I have this little tiny scrap that I wanted to use, and I thought this was a good spot for it. The back of the wallpaper and the Flora page. Here is a little flip out. Let me take that off. And I just tucked in a little fold out. Could be turned into a little booklet if you want, or just left plain for journaling. There's the back of that book page. A little flip out here. Another beautiful girl, and just a sort of a smaller tuck. Lots of journaling spots in here. And then on this one, I also did just kind of mirrored the gorgeous images. So pretty. I love this. Paper's one of my favorites from The Botanist. Here I was just messing around, and I was checking to make sure I had my embossing folder the right side up, because I don't know how many times I've done an embossing and it's on the back side. I don't know if you've done that before, but at any rate, so I just thought I'd tuck that in. Can be used anywhere. Here's some more of those fun images from the dressmaker, and this is the back of our page. And then I had this little scrap of embossing, and I popped that in here and just did a little collage on the bottom. And then these are just some nice little journaling cards that I tucked in. So that is the end of our cutie little journal. The horses and ponies will be very similar when it is completed. I have not created any of the ephemera for it as of yet, because I still need to sew in the signature. And so if you want to see that process, I'm going to add that on to the end of the video here. And then you can let me know what you think. If either of these have not been spoken for, if you are interested in purchasing one, please let me know in the comments, or you can email me and I will have all that information listed below. So let me grab my items and we will jump into a quick little tutorial. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this off. So let me just kind of show you what I've done here. So as you saw from the other book, I just adhered the fussy cut piece on with some, let me see what it's called. I did a little bit of Fabri-Tac, the 3-in-1, to glue it down. And then I went over everything with this acrylic medium, this Liquitex, just to kind of seal it in. It's not like waterproof or anything, I don't think, but I just wanted to make sure that it was not going to peel up or anything. And you could certainly put something else over it if you wanted to, but I just kind of like the way it looks. And then I had one last little hexagon from my stash from Emily at Blue Linen Cottage, so I put that on the spine, and I just think that looks so pretty. So very simple. And then I sandwiched the satin ribbon in between the papers right here. And to prep the book, I just put down some of this packing tape just to kind of reinforce the center part. And it's not bulky at all, so it's kind of nice. So basically I copied this color, I think this is from La Flora, and printed it 2 to a page, and then just cut it straight down the middle so that I could, you know, spread it out a little bit. So this is going to be the piece of fabric that I attach the signature 2 for the hidden spine. So if you haven't seen that before, it's pretty straightforward. What I like to do is, first of all, kind of want to make sure I have all my pages sort of where I want them and situated properly, which I think I kind of did already, but just making sure. We'll do a full flip through when I get it all put together here. And so very similar papers, and just not exactly in the same order, just because that's boring. Got to mix it up a little bit, right? Ready? Let's see. Okay, I think that looks good. And then we have our beautiful centerpiece. Okay, so I am going to connect those with my clips just to kind of keep everything hunky-dory. And I know lots of people do this by measuring. I do not. I just kind of wing it. So if that's a stressful thing for you, is problematic, just fast forward if you don't want to watch that part. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just go through the center of everything. And then up a little bit. This is just a regular three-hole signature. And I don't want to make the holes super duper big because we don't want to have a big space there. Like that one might be a little too big. Okay, so now I am going to pop that down right about where I want it and do the same thing right here, just eyeballing. I know this is probably giving a lot of people some anxiety, and I'm so sorry for that. I just don't have the patience for measuring, and even though I know it comes out much nicer, I'm sure, but at any rate, this is going to be just fine. Oops. Sorry, I have a really poor setup right now for filming, guys, so I apologize for that. I'm still in the process of getting fully organized, and you don't even want to know. We're still dealing with construction issues, and yeah, so it's been a very interesting end of the year and beginning of the year. So right, I'm going to go back over here and see what happened, because I know I went all the way through, and for some reason all right, 2 seconds. Ready. So here we go. So you go down through the middle, and I'm using a pretty big needle just because it makes it easier for me to see what I'm doing. And then we are going through the middle of our fabric, and it'll seem like it's kind of floppy at the beginning, but it will not be when we finish. And then I just flip it over and go back through the top, and then back through our center there, or top, and pull that through, and then we are going to go down through this guy. No, okay. And then go back through. Okay, and then on this last one, we are going back through the center, and you have to be careful not to snag. Okay, that was extremely painful to watch, I'm sure, and I'm probably going to delete most of that or edit it out. So very sorry. I haven't done a tutorial on camera for quite a while, guys. Alrighty, so now we have our hidden spine that we are going to glue on. Okay, so I have a little bit of PVC glue. Mine's kind of thick, so I'm actually just going to kind of paint this on down the center first. And then just a little bit on the sides. Now you don't have to use this any kind of tape. I just wanted to give the center a little bit more something to hold on to, because it was pretty thin when I took the book pages out. And there will be some of the book pages included. Okay, so from there, we are going to go ahead and put that in the center. Kind of smoothing it out. I didn't go super far out because I want to make sure that if I need to take it up, I don't have glue all over everything. So I'm just making sure that's close to the center as possible. Okay, and then from here, what I like to do is just grab some glue, basically, or something that's, that's heavy enough to kind of keep it together. And I'm actually going to clip it again, just so that it stands up and can dry. Okay, so I ran out of lighting last night, and so here we are, just finishing up. So let me take this off. And as you can see, it's all nice and dry, and I think I'm just going to leave that loose in case I want to make a tuck out of that, like I did with the other one. And so let's go ahead and take a peek at all the papers. And very similar to the other one. It's a little stiff, so you're going to have to be careful. You don't want to crank it open too far. But I did pretty much all the same mix of digitals with the wallpaper and the Latin and, or excuse me, the Italian and French book pages, and so many pretty papers. Here's another version of the beautiful double printed book page. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing great. I'm going to do one of my little grommet pocket tucks there, and this will be a flip out. And I love this so much. I printed this on vellum and created a journal with the vellum version of this in it last year, and it's so gorgeous. Just love it. This is a very old Italian book page. Super pretty. Love all that staining. It's one of my faves, as is this. Some lined paper for journaling. This again was from the Graphics Fairy, as is this. More Edith Holden, The Botanist, and then there's that gorgeous centerpiece. Just love that so much. I'd love a room wallpapered in that. Be amazing. And a little flip out. Some of that writing paper. And this is from the Angels background kit. Just some coffee stain paper and a little bit of Edgar Allan Poe there for you. And then just this little short page. I'll probably fold that down as well and do a little bookmark or small journaling card in there. And this is the back of that pretty blue wallpaper. And here is that gorgeous flip out. So my printer kind of pulled a little bit of black on that. So, you know, someone might want to just rip that off or whatever, or cover it up. You could collage over it very easily. I don't really mind that kind of stuff in a journal because usually you're going to cover it up anyway or add something to it, so it's not a big deal. This is very fragile. I might just washi tape that down. I think that's what I did on the other one. Or add some H tape, yeah, because I had to kind of fold that over to fit it in so it didn't fall apart. And this gorgeous blue ribbon and roses. And Edith Holden, and here is the back. And then this is what it looks like on the back cover. Super pretty. All right, guys, that is my video. Thank you for hanging in there with me if you stayed to the end. And please do let me know if you're interested in either or both of these journals. And I will see you again in my next video. Have a wonderful weekend. Love you all. Bye-bye.